Welcome back to another Summertime Series Uncommon Podcast. I am TJ.
I am Joshua.
And you are Uncommon. So our Summertime Series is meant to be just a little bit more unofficial, a little more playful, like, everyday topics kind of thing. And so this one here is called Don't Fix It. So, guys, you know how this goes. Your wife comes to you. She's like, I cannot believe that so-and-so won't call me back on trying to plan that party. Instead of us listening, maybe, or asking a couple questions to help facilitate her story, we jump in, and I do. What you need to do...
You just call them.
Well, just call them. Pick a phone right now. Let's call them. Why don't you just tell her? Give
me the phone. I'll call.
Right. We're fix-it men, right? And your wife probably wants to discuss this or vent a little bit. Sometimes just have a pair of ears to listen to her. But guys tend to go right to, I'm going to fix this for you.
Right.
And how does Heather, one, do you do that? And if you do so, how does Heather respond to that?
I do. I try not to as much anymore. In the beginning of a relationship, I was much more a fix-it, on the spot kind of guy. Because I find that when you're... Because as the significant other, you look at like the turmoil that this thing is doing, right? You're like, if I just take that and remove it, we'll be all good,
right?
And take your pick of the responses, right? Like, I didn't want you to fix it, or I have a plan and a process, or you stunt that person's growth into, well, now they expect you to make all the phone calls for whatever reason,
right?
Kind of
well,
thing.
Fine, then you do it.
Yeah. I mean, Heather, I used to do a lot more. I try not to do it anymore, or not nearly as much. But I do think it is a fine line, too, because, like, there's the sitting and listening and venting kind of thing, but there's that follow-up of encouragement to, like, okay, so now that we've talked about this, what's this look like moving forward?
Sure.
And trying to be in their corner to kind of help them walk through that.
Right.
That's the part that I struggle with the most, of how do I encourage action afterwards in a way that doesn't feel like you should just do it and do it now. Right. That kind of thing where like it feels aggressive or feels very like, hey, let's just do this so I don't have to worry about it. Because one thing I've learned from me is she vents to me and then like, well, now I get to hold all the whatever, the struggle and the weight of whatever decision has to be made. I don't want to deal with that. I got my own stuff. So let me just do your thing so I can get back to holding my own thing. Mm-hmm. And it's not fair to her to try to rush her through the process of whatever thing.
Sure.
Just because I don't want to sit there with the uncomfy feelings of whatever, of these random people I'll never meet or talk to.
Right. Or these hypothetical situations that don't play out this way.
Right. And so you have to be very aware of it because it happens probably more often than you think.
Sure.
And I think, I don't know what it is. The Lord just made us fixers. Every dude I've met is built this way. I need to fix it. Let's just get it taken care of.
Well, we use the word fix it as if our advice fixes the problem. Mm-hmm. It's just our opinion of what
we think the best
we would
course.
do. Right, exactly. And so
what I would do in your situation.
Right. And your wife's like, well, I'm going to discuss it and find the right way. Or if you are married to a person who cannot make a decision quickly, right? That's what usually happens with Mom and I. She could do a lot of research, gets to a spot and says, I just can't make this decision. Can you walk? And I literally had to walk over there and click the mouse button. So I got it down to these two cameras. This is back 30 years ago. Got these two cameras, but I physically cannot click the mouse button. Can you come over here and choose which one you want? Like, really? How do you drive yourself to work every day?
It's interesting. We all have our different hang-ups. I know when Heather was wanting to step away from her job because of all the things that entailed of being treated poorly and stuff. I remember talking with her multiple times about that decision of walking away, talking about all the negatives, the positives, and it got to the point where I felt like I was almost forcing her to make the decision that I wanted to.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I need to take a step back. Why don't you write down pros and cons? Let's talk through what you're feeling, not so much where I'm seeing this from my perspective. And that helped her work through that, but even went to the point where when she went in to email her resignation, she probably procrastinated on that like 5 days straight. I'm like, have you sent that email yet? No, I haven't. Have you written it? No, I haven't. You know what you're saying? I don't know what I'm saying. And it wasn't until I was like, hey, we need to sit down and have this conversation. It's like, write this thing. She wrote it. She couldn't even send it. I was like, look over there. Click. I'm like, let's just do this.
Like a Band-Aid.
Yeah, because I mean, there are times where we do have to step in, be that non-emotion buy-in of like, okay, you're too close to this.
Right.
Let's just do it, because you create
for some reason
walls
you
for
cannot
yourself.
make this decision.
Yeah,
for some reason
you've made too many walls between yourself and the destination when it's
Right.
just that kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's so interesting to see. It's such a common thing of every couple I've met. There's always a fixer and a listener. 90% of the time it's the dude's the fixer, but I have met some women out there that it's the opposite, where the dude is like so passive, and
Yes.
so I can't, you start questioning, like, are you leading the house? I don't even know if you're leading the house, kind of thing.
I'm going to say that I know someone that you ask, certain questions to, like, you find anything cool on, next door recently, kind of thing. They may find that to be their hobby, kind of
Yeah.
thing. You ask them something. Hey, do you have the phone number to that person who cleans your house? Oh, and that's my wife. I don't do any of that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
It's very specific to what they do and they don't do. Mom does that as well, and I'm going to say 35 plus years later, there's no, like, you can't say that, it gets different. She wants to pass this through a lot of emotions,
Yeah.
a lot of discussions, and then I'll ask questions like, okay, if you don't do this, what do you think is going to happen here? I make her go through that mental exercise, and it's okay, well, 5 days from now, you're going to be in the exact same position. Do you want this anxiety? Do you think something's going to change?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were a therapist, you couldn't get them to do something. You'd be like, okay, well, tell me what you think the outcome is going to be if you don't send that email, or if you don't call that person, kind of thing. And I don't know why. It's why God made us like visual creatures to be stimulated by women, right? Visually, where they want to be, like, the emotional part too. And so this may be just a trait of a man most of the time, that we get very black and white with things.
Yeah.
There are things when, yes, we do need to sit and talk about some things. Things that are not important are not those things.
Sure. I do think it is good to say, though, that just because we may not view it as important doesn't mean we get to play this game of like, oh, well, you're overreacting. This is a non-issue.
Sure.
I'm going to belittle your opinions and emotions about this, because that's the quickest way to have your wife never come to you with anything again, right? The quickest way to never be involved in an emotional conversation or decision is to belittle them, cut them off, or constantly try to like just answer the question or get the solution as quick as possible. Because there are definitely like, you're overreacting to this 100%. It's a text message. It's going to be okay. And there are like, okay, you definitely have some emotions wrapped up in this. Let's work through those to get to a result that you're happy with. Because what you don't want to do is start playing this fix-it game where you fix the problem. Yeah, you can go on your merry way and be happy about it, but your wife's over there like having all these unresolved emotions, or being like, well, I didn't even feel like I was part of that conversation. I want to be involved in this decision that directly impacts me or impacts the family or whatever. Because sometimes it's just the idea of like showing that you are one unit by being there and having a conversation around this, as opposed to, well, I'm just going to make the decision because you're being too whatever over there in that corner. So
Yeah, I think that with Mom, my struggle, and she would agree with this, is that she treats everything like a number one.
yeah,
And when I recognize that it's not a number one, mountains out of molehills, right?
mm-hmm.
And so that's challenging to stay objective
Yeah.
and out, because you flip it. We say want to come in with, with passing judgment in a black and white situation, and we miss the opportunity for some nuance that, we always describe it as, when I'm the raging storm, Mom is that calming voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see that sometimes with clients,
Yeah.
that we have to be a little more firm with, and she's the one that's like, most of the time calming.
Yeah.
Let's talk through it, that kind of stuff. And so I mean, it's meant to be a good mix, right?
Yeah.
It's just that when the extreme, everything is I'm gonna fix it,
Yeah.
and everything is I can't make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Either one doesn't benefit anybody.
Right. It's going to lead to frustration on both sides.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you get things done if you can't make a decision on anything. If
Right.
it takes you, whatever, 5 days to send that email kind of thing, versus, well, I'm going to send this email quick.
I'm angry.
Buckle up text,
Yeah, exactly. I think it's, because it's the danger of like either you're dragging someone by the nose to make a decision faster, going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I know many guys that you talk to them after interaction with something that's made them heated. They probably would make some very rash decisions and responses that probably
Sure.
would not end well.
Yeah.
And then yet the opposite, where you're so emotional about X thing that you're dragging the decision down and causing yourself to spend energy on this thing that could be completed and moved on well before this point and not to worry
Right.
about it. So it's definitely that fine line, but we don't do ourselves any favors when we treat every conversation, if we treat every conversation with our wife of, all right, what do you got? Let's just fix it. Let's get it over. Every time it's just so exhausted. Let's do this thing. Fix it. Let's do it. And we cut her off. We
Right.
offer solutions, and we don't work through that emotionally as a unit together.
We always say if your only tool is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail.
Right.
So Romans 12:15, rejoice in those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. And so it's, empathy, right? Just when Mom has, and it's going to sound silly, a situation that I deem worthy of the conversation, it's definitely it. If we are having a 15th conversation about what pair of shoes, I'm going to be less receptive on giving input.
Yeah.
I could care less about the shoes. And so it's the extremes in this situation that I think gets people in trouble.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody lives square in the middle of this.
Mm-hmm.
You might have moments when there's clarity. You're like, okay, I can speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that person comes in and that has a problem. Okay, let's work through it, kind of thing. It's difficult to stay in that middle. Usually, you might be having a bad day. You're like, pretty soon you're like, oh, I'm only passing out yes nos today, pal. And then it's like, oh man, you know what? I just want to just talk about everything.
Yeah.
What size Frosty do you want? How does that make you feel? Let's shut the car off and talk about what the clown head when we place our order.
Yeah.
Either extreme is very challenging.
Yeah. And I think we fall into the extremes easier than we probably think.
Yeah, that's like where we live usually.
Yeah. And so, it's always that self-reflection of, am I giving my wife's fears or anxieties or worries the just, level of concern?
Sure.
and also helping her with the emotional turmoil that comes along with that.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a good exercise. The more, and what it boils down to this, the more you communicate with each other, the more this kind of stuff bubbles up to the top, and you work on this.
Yeah.
And then be honest with each other. You know, Heather may not want to hear it from you, but it's good for her to hear that, baby, it's time to send this.
Yeah.
I may not want to hear it, but it's good for me to hear from Mom. Say, hey, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Let's not be AB. I'm a realist at heart, so I can get AB real quick. So, I hope you can identify with this either extreme.
Yeah.
But we tend to fall in that fix-it category. And so if you get a chance, check out uncommon.org. We have a lot of content around just men's topics like this,
Yeah.
whether it be husbands, dads, leaders, and everything in between, just being a man. And so that's uncommon.org. Check out our membership there as well. We have a ton of free stuff, but a ton of paid content that is really, really good.
Yeah.
So I want to thank our sponsor this week. I think it's Studio 490, and their constant support for this ministry. And Joshua, hit him with it.
If you're going to be something, be uncommon.